tired of you motherfuckers saying it's all about looks. Tired of you motherfuckers saying that there's no baddies in my videos. You tripping. Tired of you motherfuckers saying I need to follow God. I believe in God. Just because I like to fornicate doesn't mean I don't believe in God. I'm human. That's cope because you don't know how to get girls.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you, and there's unconscious shame around it too. And then it comes out through like weird ass porn and doing things you shouldn't do, and drugs. I'm tired of you motherfuckers talking about. That's about it. I love you guys. So today we're going to be talking about burnout. And actually, this is interesting because we've actually never had a conversation about this. I just know that you said you went through burnout. I've chronically went through burnout. Besides this year, is the only year where I've been keeping a check and balance on my cortisol levels, my nervous system. And for the first time, I see that it's actually, you get a better ROI when you take care of your body and your brain. But, I wanted to see if I could learn some insight in burnout and see if I can learn anything on, how I can manage this better. Everything from fasting to nutrition. So, you're 75 kilos, you look like you're 90 kilos because you're jacked. And, you take care of yourself. I see in the morning you take a bunch of supplements. And, yeah, we're going to talk about burnout. What is burnout?
Burnout.
Yeah.
There's something you think that is unreal before you experience it.
It's true.
And when you experience it, it's real. It's when your nervous system really crushes down, and it feels like being on a very slippery slope. There's no way to climb back. You just slide down when you've gone too far. So yeah,
I think the closest I had to burnout was summer of last year. I was getting anxiety attacks, but I immediately stopped smoking cigarettes, stopped drinking, and started taking care of my health the best I could. I got so sick in August and September, like deathly ill on boot camp. I think the only reason I stayed productive during that season was I had like 7 boot camps booked, so I didn't have a choice. So but it was like a never-ending battle to try to keep up with my health and the boot camps. And then after that, in November, after I got through it, I was like, never again. From now on, I will make sure that I take weeks off. It was such a stressful experience, and truthfully, I kind of felt bad for, actually no, the boot camp students had an amazing experience anyways, but, what would it have looked like if I was at my best? Probably better, right? So I really think I owe it to my boot camp students as well to stay as sharp as I possibly can. And I want to hear a little bit about your story. I know you said it's very personal, so just share whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't have to overshare. But what was your experience with burnout, and what did you go through?
So I burned out twice. The first time was in 2020, so 6 years ago, and the second time was in 2024. And both times, what triggered the burnout was not respecting my boundaries. So I would say yes when I meant no, and I would deplete my energy. I would accept toxic relationships with my close friends and families, and I wasn't be able to say no. So that would drain my energy up to a point. I woke up one day and I just couldn't go out. I had like kind of hallucinations. The floor was moving.
Damn.
My heart was racing to 180 beats per second, like
Damn.
5 times a day. I had anxiety. I lost a lot of weight. I had an inflammation of my heart and chest. It was really, really bad. My body was done.
Fuck, man. Your body says no.
Yeah,
Your body just says no, not anymore. Sorry. Off switch.
Exactly, exactly. And I couldn't train anymore. I had to stop my studies. I couldn't work. I couldn't socialize because I was so fucking anxious. I couldn't trust my body because it was giving me so many weird signals with my heart and visions and blood pressure. I couldn't trust my body anymore. So I had to learn. It took like 3 years. Relearn how my body functions, how to recover properly, how to manage my sleep, and especially how to manage my relationships and respect myself first, and stop abandoning myself in order to please people.
There's so much I want to say now. This has brought up so many light bulbs for me, but it just made me realize the main thing I realized is my body getting sick I got sick every month last year. Every month it was a new problem. It was a fever or food poisoning or anxiety attacks. Every month I had a new problem. That was basically my body forcing me to slow down. That was all that was. And it was almost like a mechanism that was useful in a way, because if I didn't, it probably would have turned out worse. Like, it sounded like you just pushed until your body just said, nope,
Collapsed.
not anymore, collapsed.
Yeah.
So like us getting sick, that's why this year I haven't been sick once. Not once. I got maybe close a couple times, but I immediately went to rest, spa, eat healthy, and recharge. So, by the way, guys, any questions at all? There's only 3 of us in here, but any questions at all, just drop them below. We'll answer it at the end. Yeah, so
What I learned is to develop like a closer relationship with myself, and especially with my nervous system. Once you burn out, you don't want to burn out again, because it takes so much time and energy to go back up, to train again, to socialize again, to be confident, have energy, charisma, be expansive. It takes a lot of time. So now I try to be more attentive to the internal signals when I can't manage my emotions, like anxieties, sadness, anger. Oh, that's a signal. When dopamine. When I need to check my phone and scroll, that's a signal. When I feel anxious socially, when I feel that everybody's watching me, I mean, that's normal, but when you are exhausted, you feel way more. The sense that people are watching me and you feel observed. So then you need to relax.
it's almost like spiritual to take a week off. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have a hard time doing that. So last week was the first time, and I wasn't even, the funny thing is my version of a week off is probably the version of most people's productive week. But it's just like not pushing myself as hard. And I have so many new ideas. I get so much creativity. I get so much inspiration. I feel so alive. I go on dates. I usually have better game in a lot of ways. I have sex with girls. It's more spiritual. It's in a very high vibe thing to do. And a very low vibe thing to do is to push so hard that you have to default to like porn to like get your dopamine. Because one thing I realized is taking a week off for me is kind of just a dopamine detox. It's just like stop chasing dopamine through work and really just feel bored. Like, that was the hard part for me. It's like allow myself to feel bored. Okay, I'm bored. I'm just gonna read a book. Like I let myself get as bored as I possibly could. It was super painful, and at the end of it, I have new ideas. I feel inspired. I feel recharged, and I can come at the next week. But the problem is, you don't want to take too much time off. You take more than a week, or if you spend a whole week on your phone and you're not actually doing things productive, like you just are doing other things, it's really hard to bounce back from that as well. Like if you go full degenerate, lazy mode, then I find that in the past, my cycle was this. It was super intense motivation and inspiration. Going really hard and feeling signs of burnout. Feeling burnt out, chronically on my phone more on my downtime, chronically maybe even watching porn, chronically eating bad foods, making bad decisions, game even gets worse, chronically in a bad mood, chronically pissed for no reason, and then eventually I get sick, and then I watch like 10 movies, I take a few days off, but it's not in a healthy way, and then I feel very depressed and resentful to myself for taking those days off, and then the cycle continues. It's like, okay, now I'm inspired again, but it's like unhealthy. And now it's like, no more of that. It's consciously winding down to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good again. I'm healthy. Let me go to the spa. Like every week now, spa day, every day, every week, 4 hours in the spa, sauna, steam room. It completely resets your nervous system too, because you get so tired afterwards. Every day I take 2 days off. Every month I take a week off now, where I'm in nature, going in nature on Wednesday with a girl. Just not putting pressure on myself to, oh, did I do something productive today? Like, no. It's your day off, bro. Like, chill, enjoy it. If you feel inspired to do something productive, fine. Now it's coming from a place of inspiration, high vibe. So, but there is a time and place to push.
Of course.
There is a time you got to be able to push, and you can. I've seen you. You can push. You can push hard. I know you have that trigger in you.
You have to push.
Yeah.
You have to push, but you have to also force yourself when you are in a momentum of building a business, creating content, going on sales calls, coaching clients, everything. You have to force yourself to take a week off, as you said. Maybe 3 weeks you push, and 1 week you force yourself to relax, to get centered back in the present moment. go in nature, and it can be hard for the first day.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do
Yeah.
this piece of content. I need to do
Basically
that. And you
rewire
force
your brain
yourself.
to work.
You
Yeah.
rewire your brain to be centered in the present moment and don't think about work, working out, or even relationships.
Yeah.
And you reconnect with your soul. You said it's a little bit spiritual, and that's how you re-nourish your soul. And then after the week off, you are full in. You have more creativity, more inspired to go out, talk to people, create content, coach, and even as a coach, like your advice, will be way better
Yeah.
when you are. It will be way
better,
more on
way
point.
better. Yeah, so true. One thing I want to touch on is relationships and how saying yes to things is what caused you to get burnt out. When you said that, I popped so many memories in the past where I lacked boundaries. But first, I thought this question was funny. How old are you guys and how many women did you approach in total? At least 20,000, bro. To be honest, like a lot. A ridiculous amount. I'm 28. And yeah, that's the next boot camp is in 1 week. So you said in the past, one thing that made you burn out was relationships and saying yes to things.
Yeah.
Man, that was the main lesson I learned last year. The main lesson I learned last year was you have to have boundaries with who you're around, and also I'm better at saying no now. I'm a pretty good at saying no, because that was hard for me before. Like before on boot camp, I used to do 7-day boot camps. I don't know if I told you that or if anyone knows. I used to do 7-day boot camps. The client would arrive early. I'd be like, fuck it, let's just go every day. So Monday through Sunday. That's crazy. That's like actually insane. 7-day boot camp, wild. Those are some fun days though, I'm not gonna lie, but I was so chronically burnt out in that phase. Like I was fucked up. I used to say yes to people just like, hey, can I crash on your couch? I want a game. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. But then they would keep me up at night, or they would, like while I'm trying to rest, they would ask me a million questions. I remember one time I let a kid, he was just a random subscriber, and he's just like, I'm in Budapest, can I stay? And I was just a nice guy. I was like, yeah, fuck it, stay. He was a nice kid, but it was just like when I'm trying to rest or eat or get some stuff done, he'd be like, so how do you get over approaching? And just start asking me questions like crazy. And I was like, damn. Actually, there was one situation where I was like, look, I know you flew out here. I'm gonna buy you a hotel because I literally can't. Like, you are driving me crazy. I said it straight up. I was like, bro, I'm so stressed right now, and the first day I was like, I just need some time, bro. Like you're like asking me too many questions. We just gotta chill, because I was on boot camp. And then the second day I was like, I got you a hotel room. I can't handle this shit. Fucking. Anyways, I have a lot of stories like that where I've just like, what was I thinking? Like, of course a random subscriber is going to want to get coached for free. I'm letting him stay at my place. Of course I need to set a boundary. Of course I shouldn't let random people in my home on boot camp. I used to live with my boot camp students. It was fine sometimes. Actually, some of my best memories were that way. But actually, I find that it kind of ruins the balance of like coach-client relationship. Now it's too much of a friend hanging out, and I would get burnt out like 24/7 on the clock, like no rest. We would go home at 3 a.m. He wants to debrief another hour. Like, you're basically the pickup. I used to say I'm just a pickup slave at this point. I'm the cold approach pickup slave. That's what I am right now. And yeah, no, I learned my lesson with that, man. Shit's crazy.
I'm kind of the same, like introverted. I need to be alone to recover and recharge. Some of my friends, they can be hanging out with people day and night and they can recover this way, but not for me. I need to rest, I need to meditate, I need to read, I need to walk in the park alone. That's how I will recharge as well. So it's important to know what's your ways to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm an introvert at heart as well in that aspect. I only know like a few guys who are always extroverted. Actually, I don't really know anyone. I'm just thinking of a couple guys who are like always in the zone. But honestly, it's usually like they lack something. Like I met one guy, great guy too. Actually, I actually think he's really cool. He's on the channel. He's a great guy, has a lot of game, extroverted, but he can't edit a video. He can't do anything logical. He can't do anything that is boring. He's like, it all has to be fun. Yeah. So that limits you, like, if you always want to be in the zone, you always want to be extroverted. I don't know, I'm getting kind of into like a random ass topic. So I feel like we've covered burnout. I'm trying to think of what else to say on it.
There would be so many things to say about it. How to recover, supplements, how to manage your sleep, yeah, I think for me at least, I read the book No More Mr. Nice Guy. So for me, like the trigger for the burnout was being a nice guy. Couldn't say no, and I had this sense of I need to please everybody around me to feel at ease with myself. But ultimately, I was not respecting my boundaries. I was not respecting my time, what I really wanted to do, and I accepted the pressure of my family and friends,
Yeah.
and I was not living authentically to myself. So I learned the hard way, and now, yeah, I'm really respecting myself more in a way. I want to do my business. I want to have this lifestyle, and
Yeah.
no one has anything to say about it. It's my life,
that.
and I'm gonna respect me from now on. Yeah.
You know what? I used to make the mistake of thinking quantity of time was also quality of time. What I realize now is I'm gonna go home and spend 1 week with my family out of the entire year. But in my head, that 1 week, I'm sacrificing thousands of dollars. So in my head, I'm spending so much time with them. But also, I'm gonna do it on a week where I'm rested, where I was gonna do nothing anyway. So it's like kind of a double ROI.
Yeah.
So I'm being strategic with my time and I'm attaching value to it. So people actually respect you more when you value your time. They put your time on a premium. So when you do show up, it's like, hey, Joaquin came. Like, fuck yeah, it's a big moment.
Yes.
They respect you more. Same thing with coaching. You spend too much time with the client. They like if you live with your client, for example, then it's like the coaching becomes less valuable. If you're like, okay, show up on time, give you your best fucking coaching possible, it's more valuable. They respect you more.
But we can make an analogy with dating as well.
Yeah.
When you respect
sure.
your attention, you will be respected more. When you attach value to your attention, you will be respected more by women. Because if you are always texting them, chasing them, they will take you for granted, and they won't respect you, and they don't want to see you on a date or spend time with you because you are acquired. It's easy, you know. So respect yourself, work on your business, work out, and don't spend all of your time chasing women, texting women. Like build yourself up, create a great lifestyle to stay healthy in terms of sleep, in terms of building a healthy environment where you feel safe to recover, good routines for working out, eating, friendships, healthy friendships, and then go out. And you will be way more respected, and you will become way more attractive because you have things going for you. You have direction in life, and your attention will have way more value.
Absolutely. It does definitely relate in dating for sure. Okay, so to end off this stream, we're going to talk about Italiano. I like what you're saying about inner game, 100%. We're going to talk about inner game and things that we can do as a high-performing man. Like before, what I used to do, I used to be 80% inner game, where I would meditate an hour a day and journal 30 minutes a day and eat as healthy as I possibly could. And I would do everything from breath work to working out and running marathons. And I've done that before, where I'm like 90% inner game, and then I approach like 5 times a week. And then now recently I've been like thousands of approaches and neglecting my inner game completely. So now I'm coming to a point where I'm going out thousands of approaches, but now I have certain protocols to make sure I'm staying sharp. So for me, it's 3 times in the gym per week. I know it doesn't sound like a lot. I'm a busy man. That's a lot to me. Like 3 times.
I'm doing the same.
3 times a week, bodybuilding, boxing, and cardio, and all of it. 1 time a week, sauna, spa, like a full spa sauna session. 1 massage per week if I can. And he was about to get an uppercut. I was ready. I was loaded, bro. I was loaded. I thought he was about to try to snatch my phone. I was like, what the fuck is this guy looking at me? Anyways, 1 time a week, massage if I have the time and the resources, which I do now. 1 time a week, if I can, in nature, something like what we're doing right now. And then the most important thing of all is the diet. I try not to eat past 10 p.m. because it affects your sleep when you eat late. And sleeping as much as I leave my phone you see it, I leave it in the kitchen every night. I don't put my phone in my room at all. I sleep. Bro, if you can just get the sleep good, fuck, that's the most important part, is that sleep, bro. If you just get that 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, you will be golden. Damn
Yeah,
good.
go for it.
Should I?
I'm gonna talk go, and I'm gonna talk about sleep.
I'm gonna send it.
Sleep. How do you improve your sleep? That's the foundation of health. First off, you eat early in the evening. So try to eat before 8 p.m. so you have time to digest, and when you are going into bed, your body will not use your energy to digest but to recover. Okay? Blue light blocking glasses. Those glasses look a little bit oranges. From, I don't know, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., use those glasses. It will improve your sleep so fucking much. You will have way more melatonin in your brain, so you're gonna have some deeper sleep. What else can I say? Don't work out just before sleep. At least for me, it doesn't work well because I have like adrenaline, endorphins, and that's keeping me agitated at night, and then it takes 2 or 3 hours to fall asleep. So I try to wake up in the morning or early in the afternoon. Don't drink too much right before. I know it's a little bit silly, but drink some water during the day so you don't wake up to go to the toilet. So you have like an uninterrupted sleep. That helps. What else can I say? Diet. Of course, eat your proteins, healthy carbs, rice, sweet potatoes, vegetables, fruits. Hydrate a lot. And alcohol. Alcohol is a big one. I used to drink a lot until age 25 when I burnt out. And then I stopped completely because I had no fucking choice, because my body was doing weird things. So I completely stopped alcohol, and this improves your sleep so much. Because during the weekend, even though if you go out sober, you will have recovering sleep, and then you will start up your week fresh. So yeah, that's gonna be my advice to optimize your sleep. Read. You don't have to read for 2 hours, just a couple of pages with a dim light, and it puts you in it calms down your brain waves, and basically it's gonna, yeah, he just approached. I think he got the IG. Yeah, he's a G, man. So read. So you get information, you get smarter, and it preps you for deep sleep.
Wow, that was a fantastic
Real.
open.
GG,
Thank
1000
you.
of 10.
Yeah, they were really sweet. And then apparently the dog doesn't like anyone, but she liked me. I was like, thanks, W Wingman dog. Yeah, they were cool. They were really cool. So yeah.
We're talking about sleep. Do you have any tips to improve your sleep?
Oh, the main one's leave that phone in another room. Leave that phone in another room, and I have a routine, 3-step routine. Number 1, hot shower. It's really simple, but sometimes I'm so lazy I don't feel like taking a hot shower, and I'm not that musty. But so yeah, like a hot shower, a little bit of breath work. For me, I'll literally just lay in bed for like 10 minutes and do nothing for 10 minutes when I get home. And just like, you can feel your mind awake, and it's like all these intrusive, crazy thoughts, and then it slows down, and then the second I feel tired, the second I get that first of like, I'm kind of sleepy right now, I instantly, okay, hot shower, maybe I'll read a book, and then go straight to bed. I don't ignore that instinct of I'm tired. Like when you feel tired, the problem is people get that tired instinct, and then they get on their phones or do some work, and then their adrenaline shoots up. For my problem is I would always work at night last year. Like I would just work. And to be fair, it worked out pretty well in some ways. I saved the business, but I would work all night till 5 a.m. every night. I'd feel tired, and then I'd just work, and then my brain would turn back on, and I couldn't turn it off until like 7 a.m. Yeah, and I'd eat late at night as well. So I would eat my last meal at like 5 a.m. big fat meal. So that would keep me up till 7, and sometimes I'd be up to like 8 or 9. It was crazy. I'd be up all night, and I'd sleep like 3 or 4 or 5 hours and get up and work again. Yeah, that was like my unhealthiest time. But also, to be fair, I saved the business in that time as well. So it was like, it kind of was necessary. So yeah. Okay, my city is super unresponsive to cold approach. I do like 100-ish to get a date. Would you say this is enough reason to move to a more social place? Absolutely. Also, if you're doing day game, then switch to night game. it's as hard as it. If you can do hundreds to get a date, and I hope that is within a time frame of like 1 week, not like a month or 2 months, because it's not enough volume. But if you're out all day, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, and you're getting one date from hundreds of approaches, it's usually not you. This is an epiphany I've came to. Watch my recent video, my recent short. It's not your game half the time. Half the time it's just logistics. Like, you're probably gaming in places where they're busy, and like Saturday, Sunday is usually a good time to game out in the day game areas. But if you don't have a good day game area and you're trying to force it, where girls are like going about their day and they're like on the way to the store and they're like, no, I don't want to meet a guy right now. Night game, do night game. That's the option. Like, if you're doing hundreds of approaches out at night, there's no way you're not going to get results. And it's harder, but that would actually be my advice. But also, 100%, bro, guess what? You're going to die in like 60 years, however old you are. You're going to die. You're going to really spend your entire life in a boring town. It's not even a question of should you move. Of course you should move. It's not even a question. Go to a city that's fun. Go to a city where you have good networking. Go to a city where you make more money. Go to a city where you have better dating. Unless you have a wife and kids, why the fuck are you in a boring city? You should be planning your escape. As soon as I came back to Arkansas when my first business failed, I was planning my escape the second, not even before I even touched down. I was like, oh, how the fuck can I get out of Arkansas? Because I'm not going to stay there. I'm not going to waste my precious life force in a place where I don't resonate with the people. So get out as soon as you can. It's not even a question. When you get out, you'll think to yourself, because this is what happened to me. Why the fuck did I stay in Arkansas for 25 years? What was I, or 24, or whatever amount I stayed in? Why did I do that? It doesn't make any sense. What was I thinking? Like, why was it even like, I remember I thought the same thing. Should I move to Dallas? It's like, of course you should move to Dallas. What are you doing in Arkansas, bro? Like, I don't know where you're at, what city you're in, but yeah, bro, get out, man. Get out. The location plays a bigger part in your life than anything. And people underestimate that, especially in dating. That's why I'm in Budapest.
Yeah. So. And a quick advice, if you don't manage to convert approaches into dates, double down on the statement of empathy when you approach a girl. So it looks something like that. I know this is spontaneous.
Yeah,
I know
like
this is weird, or I usually don't do that, or I know you don't get approached during the day. Like, it makes you come across as a little bit more calibrated, and she will probably likely see you easily on a date. Because when you are too pickup artist way in your approaches, they will think, okay, he's too confident, he's just doing this with all of girls, every girl. So, statement of empathy, I know it's spontaneous, I know it's crazy, but I just saw you had to approach, blah, blah, blah. And spend a little bit more time with her, create more rapport.
Yeah.
Ask about, I don't know, her lifestyle, what she does to work out, anything. And seed the date. Talk about the date during the approach. Before you leave her, there are, okay, this nice place I want to take you to. We're gonna smoke shisha. And just plant like a seed and create already an experience in her mind, so she can see herself doing the date with you, and she will most likely come on a date.
Very solid advice. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you think he should double down on YouTube, because I think you have great potential in just like spitting game. That was like 3 key pieces to fix your problem right there. Boom. And I think that's it for the live. I don't want to go past 30 minutes. We have a full day ahead of us. So we just popped in really quick to drop some gems, give some value, and give him a follow, Joachim. We got some really good vlogs coming out. I'll tag his Instagram and all of it. It's Joachim, Joakim himself, Joachim himself. And thank you, Orlando, for popping in. Thank you, Italiano. Afraz, my homie, who might be running a boot camp with me in San Diego, one of the OGs of my community and my personal home.